Okay, buddy. All right, we're down here with Rusty for our final week 3 video recap. How you doing, buddy? All right, so this week we are going to start with getting our puppies dressed in their harness right away. I think it was Rusty's parents who reached out about what we're using for treats. So we have been using either a mix of the Vita Essentials. This is the chicken flavor, little mini knits. It's just freeze-dried chicken. Makes for a really nice, handy treat. Oh, somebody's ready to go. Or sometimes we'll use like little bits of cheese. This looks like it is Colby Jack, so just tiny little bits like that. I'm going off of the update from our trainer who was working with Rusty yesterday, that they were going back and forth between the Vita Essentials and the cheese. For today's recap video, I'm probably going to mostly use cheese, again, just because we run through so much stuff. I want to make sure he stays in the game for everything. When you're practicing these things at home, just pick 2 or 3. You don't have to do a marathon training session like I do in the recap videos. Just pick 2 or 3 things, have them work for whatever you're using, and then either later in the day or the next day you can pick 2 or 3 other things, okay? All right, so let's get started. I think Rusty is ready to go. So I'm gonna get him in his harness right away. Let's see, this is an extra small harness. It was slightly big on Poppy, but Rusty's a little bit bigger than Poppy. There you go, buddy. Oh yeah, this one fits you pretty good and still have a little bit of room to grow. There you go. Here, okay, so you can see I've got a leash attached to the harness right away. So we're gonna start this week. So let me charge the clicker just a couple of times. Yeah, there you go, buddy. We're gonna start with the flying cookie game. So we did that one last week, but this week I'm doing it with his leash and harness on. So he's gonna be dragging his leash. Go get it, right here. There's a piece of paper on the ground. He's like, that must be the piece of food you just put on the ground. Oh my goodness, you're so silly. It's right here. Get it, get it, get it, get it. Yeah, good boy. Rusty. Yeah, there you go. Oh, little babies are so silly. Ready? Get it, get it, get it. Rusty. Wow, good man. Let's do that one more time. Get it. Rusty. Yeah, perfect. So he seems unfazed by the fact that he's dragging his leash around. So I'm gonna grab some more food here, and we're just gonna go right into following a food lure. Okay, so we've been doing this since week 1, right? And you can see now I'm also holding the leash. So this is how I introduce the leash to the puppies. Yeah, good boy. Just have him follow the food lure while you're holding the leash. Good job, buddy. When they're this young, it's a great way to keep the dog from wanting to think that the leash is a toy. Good boy. And to bite at it. Ready? Go get it. So you can see how we're kind of putting things together a little bit. Let's try that maybe from opposite side. Okay, so I'm showing him I got the food in my hand. I'm holding the leash and the clicker in the opposite hand. And then I'm just having him follow that food that's in my hand. Just like we've been doing, only difference is that I'm holding the leash. Yeah, good boy. Wow, so you can even do this inside the house the way that I'm doing it inside right now. Go up and down the hallway, through your different rooms. Okay, go get it. And just get your puppy used to the fact that they're connected to something, right? Good boy. It's right there. All right, let's take your little harness off you. Let's quick recap a couple of other things. Nice job, Rusty. How about your hand targets? Rusty, touch. Good man. Rusty, touch. Good boy. You smart puppy. One more. Touch. Yeah, good job. So cute. Here, turn this way. Good job. Rusty, sit. So smart. Look at that little face. Release cute. Okay. Rusty, sit. Beautiful. What a good puppy. What a good sit. Okay. Let's try a couple of downs. Where are you, puppy? Rusty, sit, down. Good job. What a good boy. Okay. Do one more of those. Hey, Rusty. Sit, down. Beautiful. What a good puppy. What a good man. Okay. Great job, buddy. All right, let's grab our mat and work on our week 3 step for the mat. Yeah. So the mat, you know, really what the end result that we want it to be is this sort of like stay behavior, right? So this week, I'm gonna set the mat down on the ground. Rusty's gonna find the down position on it, and then I'm gonna start to move myself a little bit. So let me show you what that looks like. You ready to do your mat? You want to show that off? Ready? There's your mat. Okay, that is a little far off there, buddy. Ready? There it is. Good boy. Very good boy. All right, so this week we are starting to move away from the puppy while they're on their mat. There you go. My recommendation when you're not practicing with the mat or asking the dog to lay on the mat at this age is to pick the mat up and put it away. I think the mat must have been out while all the puppies were out playing, and so the mat turned into a toy at some point this week, and now there's a little hole in it. So to prevent that, I want the mat to just mean one thing for the dogs. I don't usually have it out laying around at this age. Okay. Just because I want it to have a very strong association that, you know, when we set it on the ground, we have this expectation from you. And puppies being puppies, you know, they're just gonna do silly things. All right, Rusty, you wanna do your mat again? Boop, boop, boop. Good boy. Mat. You gonna lay that way? All right. Good job, buddy. Very good boy. So there can be many different applications to this mat, to stay on the mat. One of my favorite applications is, see how his butt is just starting to come off a little bit? Let's see if I can lure him on here a little bit better. Right? Oh, that was a big stretch, yeah. There you go, buddy. Good boy. One of the applications that I'll use it for, sort of once they're at this point, and very frequently with my own dogs, is when we're eating, right? So you could start, if you're sitting at the table or wherever you eat, you can have the mat very close to you. You have a little dish or a bowl of the dog's food. At this point, I'm probably not using the clicker for it anymore, but periodically throughout your meal, you might just grab a piece of food and set it down to reinforce the dog staying on the mat every so often. Okay. And as the dog matures, you could start to move the mat further and further away from the table or wherever it is that you're eating. You gotta go potty? Wow, what a good boy, going in your potty box. That was a very good boy. Good decision. Smart man. All right, let's see if Rusty wants to do the crate. What do you think? You've been practicing this one? What do you think, mister? Go in your kennel? Go. Yeah, there you go. Good man. Kennel. Good dog. Good boy. Whoops. Wasn't holding the clicker correctly. Very good job. All right, so this is what we did last week, luring the dogs into the crate on cue, right? Feed them a couple pieces. This week we can add new step in the crate game, closing the door. You know, we can feed the dog for that. Maybe just like walk away a little bit. But then kind of what I like to focus on is when I return, opening up that door, feeding the dog for staying in the crate, and then not coming out until we say, okay, using that release cue. What a good boy. You want to do that again? Kennel. Good job, Rusty. Close the door. Good boy. We can give him another one for that. You know, it's just like briefly walk away, like, you know, I close the door behind you. You're okay inside the crate. Come back, open, reward for staying inside. Then, okay, use our release cue. Good job, buddy. What a smart boy. You want to try it one more time? What do you think? Kennel. Yeah, there we go. These puppies have gotten so big since week 1. You're a cute puppy. Yes, you are. There you go. Okay. And there's our release. All right, let's close this so he doesn't keep putting himself in there. Good job, Rusty. And let's go over the last handling exercise. What are you doing? You're sitting in the corner. Last handling exercise that we practiced for week 3, which is introducing noisy grooming tools. So I have a pair of clipper blades down here with me today. Don't worry, I'm not going to give Rusty a funny haircut right before he goes home. What I want to do is just introduce him to the sound of the clipper blades and make sure that, you know, we start to build some positive associations with that before the dog has their first grooming visit, okay? So I'm going to turn them on, and then I'm going to start to drop the food, and it'll look something like this. Oh boy. Here's your cookies. I'll put like maybe 3 or 4 treats on the ground, right? Point them out to the dog. Good boy, Rusty. Very good boy. Sometimes they want to check out the clipper blades, sometimes they don't. That's fine. I'm just going to turn them off. We're going to wait 15, 30, 45 seconds. I want just a little nice chunk of time in between each rep because I really want to make sure that the association is happening, that it's the sound of the clipper blades that then is predicting the food. And if we do that too close together, then it might be hard for the puppy to discern that association that I'm trying to make. Good boy. All right, so let's do that again. Very good job, buddy. There you go. And I'm just kind of putting the treat, he doesn't seem too bothered by the sound of the clipper blades. I'm just putting the treats near the clipper blades. If he chooses to walk away, that's totally fine, right? If he chooses to sniff them, that's totally fine. This exercise isn't necessarily about directly interacting with the clipper blades more than it is about be okay with the sound, right? So I do want to see that the dog ends up being neutral to the fact that I turned on this noisy, buzzy thing, okay? So I'll throw this into my mix of different handling exercises that I'm doing because this is something that will eventually need to be, he'll need to directly interact with, or it'll be used on him for grooming. We could also do like we did with the clipper blades last week and just practice petting him with them while they're off. Yes, good boy. Yes, very nice job, buddy. Maybe turning them on. Yes, good job, Rusty. Okay, and kind of pairing it together like that. If you don't have actual clipper blades at home, not a big deal. You don't have to go out and buy a pair if you're not planning on grooming the dog yourself. You could do anything that kind of makes this sort of noise. I like to use an electric toothbrush. I will put it in a Ziploc baggie, so I'm not putting a toothbrush all over the dog. But then you can sort of get the same thing from that. All right, so if you have any questions, shoot us an email. Hopefully you've got your Zoom lesson booked. And Rusty goes home this weekend. He was a very good boy.